Hello, everybody. I'm Robin, and these are my reflections. And today we are here to reflect on the Erenberg Tarot. This is a 78 card tarot deck and guidebook, new release from US Game Systems. It is the brainchild of Steve Erenberg, who was a friend of the late Stuart Kaplan, who was the founder of the US Game Systems, recently being published. And it does have that sort of vintage feel to it. It puts me in the mind of like the Aquarian Tarot or even the Fenestra Tarot for some reason. I don't have either one of those decks, but for some reason, when I opened this deck and I started looking at it, those are the two that popped into my brain. So it's in one of these sexy boxes. I love US Games new boxes with this V. Instead of the sort of thumb hole cutout, the general thumb hole cutout, they're doing these V's on the side where it's just like you can still grip it, but it just looks nice, you know? Like this little bunny on the side. Like I like this vibe. So this deck, like I said, it feels vintage. I like the way this deck looks. It's beautiful on the table. The backs of this make me feel like I'm holding something leather or textured, you know? I don't know. This feels like leather to me, like woven leather. It looks like that to me. So it makes me think about old, like, have you ever had a leather deck? I wonder what that would be like to have like leather cards. Maybe just a few, not the whole deck, not 78 cards, but maybe just the like the trumps. I don't know. Ignore me, okay? Like I get a little crazy sometimes. That's that Gemini. That's that Gemini. Here's the table of contents. It says the founder of US Game Systems Inc., Stuart R. Kaplan, and I spent decades traveling the world together, exploring every antique shop and flea market along the way. We were two avid collectors with different perspectives, me an artist and him a tarot historian. During our travels, Stuart taught me about tarot through his exuberant passion and impressive knowledge. Shortly after his passing, I was inspired to take a closer look at these amazing cards and found a wide variety of artistic interpretations. I also discovered the fascinating stories and mystical tales within the cards. Erenberg Tarot was inspired by the classic Rider-Waite Tarot and Pamela Coleman Smith's iconic illustrations. In Smith's tarot art, you are a viewer looking inward toward the scenes. I wanted to turn that around and have the subjects in the cards looking back, inviting the reader to take this journey along with them. This deck focuses attention on some of the key aspects of the card. A reader open to this approach might find a laser-like focus to this deck, one that may illuminate elements of the card that might otherwise be murky or overshadowed. The striking look is both bold and simple, like vintage poster art. I only wish Stuart Kaplan was here to see them. I like that. It's like a love letter to him. And then it gets right into there's no fussing about. It's just a little white book. For each card, you get the name and number, and then you get a mix of divinatory and art interpretations. And it's not the same amount in each one. So it's just like as you just kind of have to like pull some of it. It's like, yes, it talks exactly about what had a question about, and some of it is like, nah, you have to infer it on your own. But it will, if you're I think if you are a newbie, this book would be fine to start with. I learned to read with these types of tarot books, and I did fine. So I think you get upright and reverse keywords in case you don't want to read that. But I read this whole book in just a like less than an hour, and it didn't take long. It's not long. So there are a couple of spreads in the back and about the artist and author, and then a place for notes, and that is the guidebook. We'll look at it later when we shuffle the cards. So here are those gorgeous backs up close. I love this sort of vintage. It does feel like it feels whimsical but human, and I think that that gives me sort of, when I think about whimsical and human, because it's whimsical and human, not fairy or other kind of mythical creatures, it makes me think about carnivals and circuses. And it says it's vintage. It's meant to mimic vintage poster art, and I definitely see that. If you think about like when circuses were coming through town, and you saw those older posters, not in my time, but in movies and stuff, that's what this sort of reminds me of. And I love the looks of them. I think that the choice to zoom in on some of the cards, well, Okay, so let's talk about that. So it feels like some of the cards have just been redrawn in Pamela Coleman Smith's style, her scenes redrawn and then zoomed in on, right? But some of them are not. So if you look at this composition, this is not a redrawing of Coleman Smith's scene. This is a repurposing of the images. Like the images have been moved around so that they all fit within this sort of little window, right, that he's created here. So I think that, some of them are redrawn. I mean, some of them are repurposed. And he's focused in to just bring certain parts of, like, he smushed if you're looking at a Coleman Smith card, they would be further apart, these sphinxes. He smushed them together to get them in the scene, and pushed them closer to the being in the chariot. Here, the lion has been moved to the necklace. So I think that sort of stuff is clever because we want to make sure we get all of the symbolism that we need in the card. I think he managed to get a good amount of symbolism in this card. Like, for instance, this one looks like it could be just zoomed right in on the hermit's lantern, but this is actually in the wrong hand. The hermit in the Pamela Coleman Smith's deck is being held in the right hand, and here we have the hermit's lantern being held in the left hand. So that's a choice he made. It makes me wonder, like, why are we putting it in the receptive hand rather than the expressive hand? You know what I mean? Like, that's the sort of stuff where my mind goes, because I'm like, he made that choice on purpose, so why? I love this gives me those carnival circus vibes. I have another deck that does this with the Wheel of Fortune. It always makes me hear the in my head when I see it, and it makes me happy. Plus, it reminds me of the other deck, which is a teddy bear deck, and who doesn't love to see teddy bear decks in their head when they're reading? So there's I love that one. I like all these cards, to be honest. I like the way he played with the borders. How sometimes they're popping out of the green but still within the red border, and it's like some of them are just really trying to come out of the border. This death card is like holding the title here. I like the way he played with that. I love this hand-drawn, almost color pencil style. It's gorgeous. I don't see it much anymore, so whenever I see it, my brain is like, I feel like a little squirrel. Like, yeah, I want to see all the things, like all the little strokes and all the blending and which colors did he use. I'm terrible. I like to color in coloring books, but I can't do it. I can't do it well. I could never do this, that's for sure. So this tower is zoomed out a little bit. I think it's the only card that feels detached, or not detached, but you feel a little bit further away than the others. I don't know if it says in the guidebook. Let me look in the guidebook really quickly. So it says, the tower is struck by lightning, setting fire to what this edifice stands for: false pride and overarching ambition. The card reminds us to stay grounded and honest. It is also a warning to the ego, both personal and collective. It screams, be careful, lest destruction befall you. When it appears, the tower urges you to listen. And then the keywords are false pride, exposed or destroyed, disruption of negative patterns, and rude awakening. And then the reverse is acquiring insight, examination of old beliefs, and humility. I think that, and if you want to read that for yourself, you can see that there. I think that it doesn't really mention why he zoomed out, but it does mention being grounded. And I think it does feel a little bit more grounded. When you're this close to somebody, you almost need to be flying in their face, right? And here, I definitely feel like I'm standing on a hill across a valley looking at this, so it does feel more grounded when you're looking at it, in my opinion anyway. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments below. Love the celestials. They are so cute. The star, the moon, and wait for it, the sun. How cute. I love the little astronaut, or this rocket. It reminds me of, like, going into outer space, into the unknown, searching for things that we don't, trying to figure things out, what's going on out there. I love that. Judgment. this is clever to zoom in on this hand coming out of the. We managed to get the angel wings, the horn, and the hand coming from the coffin in the card, right? And also a skull and crossbones here to let us know that we've come to the end of something. So yeah, he packs a lot into these little cards, and he does zoom in, just like he says, on some symbolism that you may or may not have noticed before in the Rider-Waite cards. I think people say a lot of times they don't prefer the Rider-Waite Smith pictures. They feel old. These also feel vintage, but if you prefer this art style, I think it would be a great deck to start with, because any tarot book you get is going to have the RWS pictures in it. And this would be nice to have as a supplement, and you can use those pictures and this deck to kind of learn to read, and it will sort of push you to pay attention to the symbolism, because it's zoomed right in on it. I love that he put all 5 streams of water in this little bitty space. He got the 5 streams of water in there. I love how he did that. I love how he did the 7 of Cups too. We'll come to that one. Here's our 2. We have 2 different cups coming together in the picture. This one has a green stone. We still have our lion. We didn't get the medical symbol. Is it called the caduceus or caduceus? We didn't get that in here, but that's okay. 3, the 4. I like and this is something very simple, but I like how this hand is coming from, it feels like another place because it's coming from behind the red border while the person is standing behind the green border. So it's almost as if this hand is coming from another dimension or another realm to give her this cup, to offer her this offering. It's impressive to me how easily I can discern male hands from female hands in this deck, because all we're looking at is hands, but he made it clear, like when you get to the 10 of Cups, you'll see, you can tell there's one male, one female, and one child hand. This is a 7. I like how he put all of the choices in the one cup, and rather than trying to squeeze 7 cups in this composition, and we still get a dove. It's beautiful, beautiful. The 8, this gigantic cup, it's like, you're leaving behind quite a lot to move on to this new adventure. It's a pretty composition as well. The 9. There's no cup in this one, but so this is a good time to mention that the title bars are really easy to read. That's another reason I think this would be good for a beginner, because you have 9 and then you have the symbol. So I know even though there's no cups in this card, it's very clear to me that this is the 9 of Cups, right? And then because I know what the 9 of Cups symbolizes, and people often call it the wish card, it's clever to see a genie here, right? To remind you of that. But if you're a new reader and you didn't know that, you can see here that is the 9 of Cups. So this is the 10 of Cups. This is what I was talking about, how I can see the nails on this hand. So I know that that's a feminine hand, and I know that this is a masculine hand, and it's bigger. And then the baby hand, I don't know if this baby is a boy or girl, but it doesn't matter. I think that that's so cool how I can still tell, even though it's just hands, Knight of Cups. Still have a horse there. The Queen. Each one is different, the cups. So we have the fish on the cups here. Our mermaids from the chair are on the cups here. Here's our King. He has the fish running across his crown there. I love her shells and stuff there. So he's moved the symbols. They're in the card, but they've been moved around, right, to fit the composition. So that's neat. So some of them are quite zoomed in to would be a redrawing of the imagery, but most of them are not. Most of them are actually recomposed to fit, and I like that. Look at this too. So cute. I love this because first of all, I like this. Looking up this person's nose just makes me giggle, and then also I like that the skill that it would take to do this sort of circus trick right here, because when I read the two of coins, I often read it as two things that need to be balanced in life. That it's not like choosing one over the other. It's about finding a way to do both, right? Finding a way to balance both so that it works within your life, so that you can have what you need, so that you can get to the next step. And this is a skill to be able to balance things on your head like this sort of circus trick that has rendered here. And I think also balancing things in life, time and money, time and family, work and family, that's also a skill, right? It's a skill that people learn as they do it, as they work through it. So I really enjoyed this one. I like this one as well. I like a lot of these cards. Here's the 4, ball and chain, cute round little pentacle. This 5 is stunning. The shading and the line work on this is gorgeous, gorgeous, and moody. I love the moodiness of that one. 6 and 7. Now this one actually does feel like we're just zoomed in, right, on the regular picture. The 8, love this. The 9. I like that we got the falcon here with his eyes covered up, because a lot of times I read this card as being sort of solitary and a little bit, in your own selfishness, right? Like not selfish in a bad way all the time, but just being very like focused only on you. And I like that, we have our falcon with his eyes covered, like in his own little world here. Like that's what he chose to zoom in on. I like that about this, because that's kind of how I like to read the card. The 10, the page, cute, holding his little gift for us. The knight with his rake. Is that a rake? I don't know. I don't do farm work. And then the queen. I was getting ready to say a hoe, but I think it's a rake. Could tell I was born in a city. And then it's the queen with her rabbit, with her bunny, and the king. Here's the page of swords. Uh-oh, did I put them? Hang on. I put them backwards. Hang on. Let me fix this. Okay, here's our gorgeous sword. Look at the hilt on that sword. Oh my gosh. And his mountains are beautiful. Anyways, this is a good time to mention the next two suits. The suit of swords, which is the suit of the mind, and the suit of wands, which is the suit of potential and drive. They're intangible things. So we have a translucent hand offering up the potential of those suits and the aces. So we have a translucent hand here and the Ace of Swords. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful image. The 2. Love the clothes in this too. I don't know why. I just like this time period for clothes. The 3. I have been looking at this. I've had this deck for a little bit now, and I have been looking at this 3 of Swords, wondering about this green ribbon. Why did he choose this green ribbon? It does not say in the guidebook. I looked. I was wondering why green. Are we saying jealousy, envy? Because it doesn't seem to be chakra representations. So, if we're going by traditional color associations, why green? Or is it, lushness and growth? Are we stunting our growth? Our heart can't grow. I don't know. I'm going back. This is the stuff that I think about when I use this deck. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about why we have a green ribbon there as opposed to, because he could have chosen any color, right? Why green? Why the green? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I've been going back and forth about that green ribbon. Here's the 5. And I think, see here, we kept the hands very neutral. We don't know if we have male or female hands here, but when he wants us to know, he'll let us know, right? So this is the 6, the 7, the mask. I think that this mask, I like that he kept this mask a neutral face because, you know, you can read this mask as deception, right? Because it's a mask. But I don't always read the Seven of Swords as deception. Keeping this mask neutral helps me with that. So I like that about this. The 9. The 10. Page. The Knight. Swords. I love that. I like the hilts on the swords. There's so much attention to detail in the design work on the clothes, on the swords, on the metal, in the pictures, because I guess it's like you're so close up, you have to see all the details, and I love that. Here's the Ace of Wands again with a translucent hand. The 2. 3. If you're looking for a deck where the 2 and the 3 of Swords don't feel similar in any way, these definitely feel different. The 4, I like confetti. This background shows up in a few cards, and I haven't really gone through yet, but I want to go through and see all of the cards where this background shows up and see if there's like an overlap. If you have the deck and you've done that, let me know what you find. 6. The 7. I like the way he kept the different color shoes, and he kept the sprouting wand, and then also look at this grass. So it's like, okay, so this grass looks green. It looks fine. There's no blood spilt here. There's nothing that looks dangerous. But he still has the higher ground, but higher ground over what? So I like that I can read this a couple of different ways, you know? The 8. For people who like to see something different in the 8 of Swords, here we have the person actually shooting the wands before they hit the air, before they get in the air. Person shooting them up into the air. The 9. And this one does feel like a zoom in, right? 10. Did that. Page with his little salamander. The Knight. This one, every time I see it, it kind of gives me the Little Sister Tarot vibes. I think the zoomed in on the horse here. I feel like there's a card in there. I think it's a death card actually, but this is the Knight of Wands. Look at the cat and this Queen of Wands. So cute. Peeking up over the title. I love it. And then the King, that's our last one. Here are the backs one more time. So the cardstock has shifted a little bit, and I can't tell you what. Like, I sat here with a couple of other decks trying to compare. They just feel different. Like, they feel a little bit more buttery, and I think feel a little thinner, slightly, but they still have that semi-gloss coating. And let me see, the size is a typical tarot size. This is a regular size tarot card. You can see that they are the same size pretty much. And then this is a Hay House Oracle. You can see that they're a little bit smaller. So they're typical tarot size, regular RWS size, and they shuffle. I do have small hands, so I am able to shuffle them. They are a little bit stiff, but I can shuffle and bridge. But where the shuffle really gets satisfying is the overhand, because they do that buttery glide that I like so much. So that's how I've been shuffling them. If you want to see the fan, it's a lovely, beautiful fan. Let's pick a card. Let's pick this one. We got the King of Wands. Great, so we'll take a look. Find him in the guidebook here. He should be the last one. Yep. So if you want to take a look here. Now read it out loud. It says, the energy of the king. Here, let me just hold him up so you can see him. The energy of the king is solid and strong, like the wand he firmly grips. He knows how and when to use his formidable energy for the benefit of all. And then it says the keywords are strong leadership, decisive, motivational, ambition, and the reverse is domineering, aggressive, weak, direction, and unable to inspire. So I like the deck, reads beautifully, looks gorgeous on the table, has a satisfying shuffle, and all those things. And one other cool thing about it is that it's kind of like, it feels almost like a tofu deck. And when I say that, I mean like in the way that tofu tastes like whatever you put with it. This deck kind of feels the same. Like if I change the Oracle deck, the vibe of the deck changes for me. So I wanted to show you guys a couple of decks that I paired with it to kind of shift the energy of this deck. For my own readings. Of course, this is, everything I say is personal, but so let's take a look at some pairings. The first deck I want to show you with it is the messages from the Light meditation deck. Now, I know this is a meditation deck, but I don't like it as a meditation deck. So I use it as an oracle deck. I think it's because it doesn't have a whole lot in the book. And for meditation decks, I like to have a good amount in the book so that I can read on that and meditate about it. And this one doesn't have that. So I use it as an oracle. And I thought that this was good for just general readings, general everyday readings. This brought this deck to my general everyday reading table nicely. So we have the Empress with listening and the 7 of coins. We got nice, quick, sharp readings, no fussing around, and they look good together. Worked for me. Let me zoom you in just a little bit. Okay. 5 of Swords, stillness and justice. Yeah, we can see it much better now. King of Cups with nature and the 6 of Wands. Family with the 3 of Cups and the 8 of Wands. Nice. Yeah. Just nice, quick, sharp, daily pull kind of readings, daily energy kind of readings, or pull this one to see just kind of this kind of reading. I think it was better for me to start with the tarot and then pull out the oracle. I use this more of a clarifier than I did as a thematic thing, So yeah, I like these together. So that is the messages from the Light meditation deck by Joyce Huntington. This is a US Games deck. Angels, Gods, and Goddesses, Tony Carmine Salerno. This is a Blue Angel deck. This was my favorite pairing with this. The Angels, Gods, and Goddesses is one of my favorite decks. It's probably one of the few decks I have ever bought a second copy of. I replaced my shiny copy for this buttery copy when they switched the cardstock, and I do not regret it. And I think that this deck is wonderful. It gives beautiful messages. It leaves me feeling good always, and it is one of my favorite decks to pull out when I'm feeling spun out, when I'm feeling lost, when I'm feeling tired, or just losing my cool, losing my energy. This one always lifts me up. So I love this deck, and I thought that it brought that energy to the Erenberg, because like I said, this deck it's like tofu. It goes with everything. So it just it becomes whatever you put with it. So then I was able to use the Erenberg for these sorts of readings. So we've got the world with the angel of addiction healing and the 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups with addiction healing. This is a time of positive transformation and healing. Angels of joyfulness with the Ace of Pentacles and Temperance, Angel of clearing. Your time of waiting and confusion will soon be over, with the Fool and the Hermit. So these are big energies here. Then stuck, you can't move forward. You're scared or blocked in some way, and you're out here searching, but it's coming. The angel of clearing is here to tell you the time for confusion will soon be over. Goddess of knowledge with the Ace of Cups and the Chariot. I like this pairing so much. I felt like it really raised the vibration of the tarot. So this is the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses, a Blue Angel deck by Tony Carmine Salerno. So we went from like the everyday pulls to the more spiritual, emotional readings. And this one is kind of like a mix between those two, I think. This is the Star Seeker Oracle. I think it falls between spiritual, emotional, and everyday use, in my opinion. And I just got this deck. It's new to me. But for me, that's kind of how it's been reading. And so put it with this one to see how it was going to shift it. And it just kind of softened I feel like it softened the Erenberg a little. Not that the Erenberg is sharp. It's not. It's like I said, it's neutral. But it brought it into this sort of soft, dreamy world almost. So we've got, this one is clearing. So we had strength with Secret Keeper and 3 of Cups. The 4 of Swords with rest and the 9 of Wands. Nice, soft, take care of yourself kind of message there. The Star and the Moon with protection. Cute. These are cute. They're cute. They're just cute. The 7 of Cups with the Warrior and the 8 of Cups. The Storyteller with the 6 of Coins and the World. I wonder what this story would be. I would definitely be pulling some more cards around this. But anyways, this is it with the Star Keeper. This beautiful, beautiful, beautiful 5 of Coins with the Creator and Temperance. Yeah, I liked this one together. I felt like it gave me like sort of a everyday emotional readings as opposed to those sort of deeper, like I'm in a rough place. This is more of an everyday reading. There you go. This is the Divine Nature Oracle. I think it reads in a similar way as the Star Keepers. So if you have this one, or is it Seekers? Star Seekers. Sorry, I said the name wrong. So if you have this one, I felt like these read well together for the same sort of everyday tapping into your emotions, tapping into your energy, that deeper energy, and coming out your best self kind of readings. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune with Bubble Up and the Chariot. Bubble Up is a defense card. The Queen of Swords with Drink Deeply and the Ace of Cups. Share Your Bounty with the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Unmask Your Darkness with the 3 of Swords and the Hierophant. Wow. Whenever this card comes up, I always feel like things get real. Like it's like, uh-oh, shit just got real. I love the colors here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, I like this one. And a lot of times, we got some of those nice echoes of color. And this one also has a lot of texture. And this is a it's not a collaborative art deck. It's the same artist, but it's different art from different times and periods and all that kind of stuff. So you see, because he works in so many different mediums and has so many different types of style, every now and then you'll pull a card that just feels like it goes exactly along with this deck, So I like that as well with working with these. With 7 of Wands and the 9 of Swords with Burn is Sacred Fire. We'll just do one more. Stand for Justice with the 6 of Cups and the Page of Wands. Wow. That one feels political almost. Okay, so there is the Divine Nature Oracle by Angie Sullins and Grant Valenka. These last two I haven't actually tried it with yet because I just got the deck like a couple of weeks ago and I just haven't tried these two, but I am interested in knowing how they might pair. So we're going to take a look at them together. So this is the messages from your spirit guides, your animal spirit guides, Oracle cards by Stephen Farmer. This is a older deck, but I just got it maybe like a few years back, so I think it's still around because I just bought this from Hay House not too long ago, maybe a couple of years ago, and yeah, I've had it. I guess maybe it's been about 4 years now, actually, but damn, time fly, don't it? 2020 and 2021 just flew by in my brain, and they just, for some reason, my brain will not let me feel the length of those years. And I'm like, oh, I bought something in 2020, but it feels like, oh, it was just a couple of years ago, when really 2020 was almost 4 years ago now. So, well, depending on when in 2020 I might have bought it, right? So, so anyways, this is it. I think it looks good together, as far as the uh, aesthetics. So let's see. We have the Five of Wands and the Tower with stand tall and maintain your dignity no matter what, and others will treat you with the respect that you deserve. Okay. So if we have a lot of chaos happening here and a lot of problems, but in that the advice is to stand tall and maintain your dignity. And I do find that this is a very kind of predictive and advice deck. So if I'm doing sort of predictive readings, or if I'm looking for a specific kind of advice for a specific kind of question, this is a good deck to use this for. It's a nature deck, so, and this one does have a lot of natural elements in it, so I thought it might look nice together. So we've got the Emu. This is a good time to go on a new adventure, with the Death card, which is about transitions, and the Six of Swords, which is about also like moving on. So I think that, yeah, we're on our way. Like, definitely a confirmation to get going, for sure. The Judgment with the Page of Cups and the Weasel. The Weasel says, be silent and pay attention and simply observe with your eyes, ears, and physical feelings what is happening inside and all around you. The Ace of Swords with the Octopus, which says, practice shape shifting by altering your physical appearance, altering your physical appearance and mannerisms, with the Ten of Cups. So that is the messages from your animal spirit guides oracle cards. Let's try one more. This is the other one I wanted to try, Angels and Ancestors oracle cards. It's a Kyle Gray deck. I don't ever use this deck, and I'm trying to make myself use it. So I thought they might go together because I have a feeling these colors are gonna look nice together. So let's just see. Ooh, yeah. I think it brightens this one up, right? It brings it into that sort of fantasy realm of this Lily, what is her name? Lily Moses artwork. I think her art style is beautiful. I feel like I have one other deck from her that I haven't even used yet, but this is the more natural looking one, so I thought the colors would go better. So we have the Nine of Cups with the Devil, and then the Shaolin Master. Be graceful in movement and action. Interesting. I wonder, because this is an ancestral deck and it's meant to be about tapping into that energy. So I wonder if it could take this deck down the road with it, you know? I guess that's my question. I won't know until I try it, but because this deck is so changeable, I think maybe it's mutable, you know? It's very mutable. So I think it's possible that it could go down the road that this Angels and Ancestors deck would take me. And I don't not like the way it looks together. I actually kind of like it, to be honest. So but then again, I'm not a matchy type of person, but I do like this. So I think that I feel like these feel up close as well. And so together, I've got like up close and then up closer. You know what I mean? Like, so I wonder if we could do that type of reading where it's like we look into something and then we zoom in a little bit further. Yeah. I think I'm going to like these together, and it might get me to use Angels and Ancestors more. I keep the deck because I think it's pretty, but I never use it. So this might be an opportunity for me to dig a little deeper into this deck. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I'm feeling it. You guys will have to let me know what you think or what you're using it with in the comments below. So that wraps up my thoughts about the Erenberg Tarot. I'm very excited. Shout out to US Games for sending this over to me for purposes of review. I'm excited to have been able to share it with you. I hope that it was helpful. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, you can subscribe. I release videos every few days regarding tarot and oracle. There'll be links in the description box below where you can pick up any decks that you saw here today. If you can, share the video with your friends. It helps my channel grow. And until I see you next time, stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.